What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Defend Your Units. I'm Johnny K. Picks. Alongside me is my special guest, free UFC Bet Picks. How's it going, man? Are you looking forward to this card?
I'll say yes. Yeah, I think there's some bangers. It's
Oh, yeah.
good fight night. So yeah, look forward to just about any two human beings fighting. So forward to it.
Yeah, man. So how well did you do last week at UFC Vegas 104?
Oh, I appreciate you asking. I wish you asked that backstage. I lost my ass last week.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Super transparent always. Yeah, I lost my ass. I stayed away from Musasa, and then last minute I was like, all right, let's
I got burned. I got burned.
Yeah.
By
So
him too.
out of my 12 parlay legs, 9 were lovely and 3 missed, and sadly those 3 were all spread out. So I lost my freaking ass.
Oh man, DR messed me up too in 2 bets, and he looked like a fraud. Getting subbed like that against Ribeiro is not a good look. So I told myself Dana White Contender Series guys now that are undefeated coming in, no more. Just done. They have to have one fight. I got to see him fight in the UFC against UFC competition before I even think about betting them in any way. So
no doubt. I parlayed DR super early in the week and beat some line movement on him.
Me too.
And then at weigh-ins, he misses weight. And then at stare downs, he looks just chubby and undersized. I was like, oh no. I was super worried after weigh-ins and stare downs, but I was like, no, he's going to be fine. Brinson can't defend a takedown. Well, that was true. He couldn't defend the takedown, but getting Kamurad or whatever from top position, that was the story of my week last week.
Yeah, I still couldn't believe that. I was watching that fight and that happened. I was just like I am so disappointed right now. I don't even know what to say. That was awful. I never saw that coming.
Was on Cachoeira.
Yep, me too.
Were good. Just trusted these newcomer bums.
There was too many of them last week. After looking back at it, there was probably 6. I think 6 newcomers, or 5 or 6, anyways. And I'm like, what? 2 of them won, maybe, if that.
Yeah.
Ugh, crazy. But we have a new card. That's all that matters. Let's get that out of the way. We'll start fresh. It's a new week, and we'll get it done. This is actually going to be there's a lot of good lines and a lot of closely aligned fights. We can get something done. We have to parlay all the time like I do. I've been trying not to parlay as much. So this is a good card to do. I think I only have one parlay. That's it so far. So we'll see.
Nice. I'll definitely have more. I like some overs, once those all come out.
Yep.
But only one bet for me so far, and it's a straight bet we'll talk about. But yeah, I'm struggling with a few of these fights. I might decide as we're breaking them down, or because I don't want to just be undecided. But there's a few I'm currently undecided on. So
yeah. I was telling you before we jumped on. I was like, I want to see what you thought about some of these fights because they're so close. I'm like, maybe you'll sway me one way or the other, and then maybe I'll place a bet, maybe not. So we got Paku MMA in here. What's up, Paku? Sure, man. Appreciate you as always coming on. Derek, our guy. Let's say we get some blokes back in the water closet. Let's go, UK fighters. Let's go.
So
Ryan Jordan
smoking a cigarette in the bathroom. Is that what that means?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think it means the other thing. At least I hope it doesn't. Ryan Jordan, what's up, Ryan? Gonna be a fun card. Some fire matchups, and the London crowd's always hyped. They are always crazy. We got Saba in here. What's up, Saba? Appreciate you hanging out with us and talking some MMA. Rem Dog. Sup, Johnny? Let's get that bread. Yes, sir. Robert, New York City. Robert, what's up, man? Love the early start time. Let's go. I love the early start time, too. I love it. Give me a noon start time all day. I can start drinking early. That's the best. Love it. And we got Scotty Law. Hit the like button. All the cool kids do. Yes. So if you are here early, hit that like button for us. MMA Ricky here. Killing it. MMA Ricky is killing it on Twitter. If you don't know who MMA Ricky is, go to Twitter right now. Give him a follow. He's been destroying the bookies the last 3 or 4 cards. Nice. I know last week, I think last card, he killed it with plus 19 units or something crazy. So this guy knows his stuff. He puts out some free bets and stuff here and there. So definitely give him a look.
He's dapper too.
I know.
I like his style.
Good. But let's go ahead and get started. We got 13 fights, knock on wood. Hopefully none of these get canceled. We did good last week, so none of those got canceled. One was very close to get. I wish it would have got canceled, actually, thinking about it. That stupid DR fight should have got canceled. It would save me a lot of money. So we got Guram Kutateladze versus Caio Fernandez. Who do you like here?
I'll go Guram, but I'm not overly confident. I think the line is wide. Both these guys have some red flags. Both have shown cardio issues, right? Like Guram always fights close. Guram's never paid off this price tag, figuratively speaking, right? Like he's never
unless he gets to finish. That's about it.
Yeah, he had Brenner hurt bad. He's dangerous. He's powerful. I think he's got the better wrestling here, right?
Yeah.
But I think when these guys strike, it's going to look real close. I think Cowie is decent. D1D Casey was able to rinse him on the ground, of course, but on the feet, I think it's really close. Cowie's explosive, nice low kicks. He's like fast twitch. He's been able to perform well in some scrambles before when he's fresh. Later in the fight, he's just going to lay on his back for sure. And I would like to think that Guram would wrestle here. And I think the wrestling is what's contributing to this price tag and this wide line. But it's just hard to trust Guram too because of the cardio issues. Interestingly, last fight, he looked really tired. Like against Vucenic, he looked tired at the end of round 1. But then he came on strong still and, had a good second half of the fight, which was a little bit surprising to me. So, I think Guram's got the path to victory if he chooses to use it. But I don't intend to parlay Guram unless it's like something crazy wide and risky. I think Guram's potentially live for a late finish. But I think round 1, like Guram parlay guys are going to be sweating. I think it's very competitive on the feet. I don't think Kaiwi's totally trash at all, even though, the Muhammad Yahya win, can't really give him too much credit for that. But the Diakese loss, I don't think we can scathe him too much, or give him too much grief for it. Diakese's out-wrestled a lot of decent guys. So, yeah, I'll take Guram, but low confidence and don't intend to parlay it except in something like 10 legs plus 2,500. Something, like it's only in those crazy, risky, small parlays that I'll have Guram in there.
Yeah. Do you see a finish in this fight before I go?
It's tough because, the cardio issues, I think, like, honestly, both guys could hurt each other in round 1.
That's what I was thinking.
I really struggled to up on this one. And I was thinking about, like, would Kaiwi be good for a spread bet? I think Kaiwi could win round 1. But I do think there could be a finish here, and it could happen anytime. It could happen in round 1 when they're both, like, incredibly fast, powerful, and fresh. Could happen late when one of them or both of them are dead gas. So I'm struggling on props here.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That's why I asked before I went. But I'm right with you, though. Like, I'm going with Guram, but I'm not, like, confident. I was more confident in his last 2 fights when he was still the big favorite. I got burned once, and I came out lucky in the second one because I think the Vucenic fight was very close. But I know he's a good fighter. It just sometimes, like, he just doesn't fight. Maybe he fights to the level of his competition, one of those things. And he just seems like lately he's just getting rocked. And that scares me. But Fernandez, like, he's good. He's a good striker. He can grapple here and there, but he's mainly a striker. Decent takedown defense. And then until later in the fights, and then he kind of gets taken down rather easily. And this is where I think Guram can have a chance to have the upper hand. Like you said, the wrestling is where I think he's going to have a clear advantage if he uses it. Striking will be rather close. Grappling with the wrestling, I would say Guram's better, but will he use it? Does he have the cardio to do it? And it's too much factors. I don't know if it's going to be over, under. I could see both happening. Both guys are dangerous. Both guys are kind of durable, but not really. Both have cardio. It's just a lot. It's a lot. So I'm just going with Guram to win. I'll say decision. That's what I initially said, but the more I think about it, the more there might be a finish, like later in the fight. I'm thinking like late second or early third round. One of them catches one another. Maybe one gets more tired than the other, and then there'll be a finish after that. So there's just a lot of unknowns in this one. I don't know. I know it's an easy out there, but I don't like the line. I really don't. If it was like minus 200 or less, Guram, I would probably parlay him, to be honest. But this one's tough.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And looking forward to it, though. These guys are both very skilled. This should be a very fun one for sure.
Yes, sir. We got Andrew in here. What's up, Andrew? Appreciate you hanging out. We got Dixon Cider. Johnny, I was going through the TV vault the other day and saw a guy that looked a lot like you on MTV 16 and Pregnant. Were you in that show back in the day? Is that why you look so familiar? Well, no. The answer is no, I was not on that show. It would be hilarious if I was, though. I don't know. Maybe I got a familiar face. Like I think I said it in the last show. A lot of older women above the age of maybe 45 to 50 think I look like Robert Downey Jr. Maybe like a young Robert Downey. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't see it, but
I can see it, and that's a compliment. Yeah,
I know. I take it as a compliment all day. I'm
yeah.
like, hell yeah! Like you're not the only one that said that, lady. that's like 10 of you already. Let's go. We got Kiwi Brew. What's up, Kiwi? Sure, man. Appreciate you as always. Kuta will smoke him. Team Georgia. Saba is Georgian, so he is all about the Georgian fighters. Ricky, I love Guram. I still think he's that guy. I think he can be. I want to see consistency. I know it's there, but I just got to see it. Like it's just too much of this. He has to get leveled out, and then we'll see what happens. Think there's a dog potential here. I think so too. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, Saba, but I think there's a chance. We got Saba. We got Any Action Effing here. What's up, man? Let's go, boys. 2 great cappers tonight. Yes, appreciate you hanging out with us. Are you in the gym right now? I know you like hanging out with us in the gym. Rem Dog, Guram, small margins, potential split. Could be.
1,000,000%.
Guram always looks dead after round 1 and muscles through it. Too nerve-wracking. Agreed. We got Dev in the house. What's up, Dev? Much love. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Tell us who you got here. Guram KO is cheeky. I think there could be anything. I think there could be so many outcomes in this fight, and it's just the first one. It's insane. Line is definitely wide. Agreed. Dixon Cider John's a member of Lincoln Park. Yeah, I guess I am too as well. What's up, Raw Torque? Appreciate you. You are Belgian, but you're also Georgian. Come on. And we got Klaus. What's up, Klaus? Still waiting on that Dale Lippin return, or at the very least, Van Buzzkirk. Yeah, I gotta see about him getting back on. I have to message him. I don't know if he still has his social medias anymore. Grom never lived up to the hype so far, so I would say yes. But he does have the talent. He just needs to get, like I said, more consistency, and then we'll see what happens with him.
I'll tell you, there's never been a guy, any fighter in the UFC, whose first 2 fights were tougher than Gamrot and Ismagulov.
That's very true. And both of those fights were super close. And I was there at the Demir fight, and I had Demir as a bet, and I thought he lost. I thought Demir lost.
Yeah.
So
they're tough. I mean, I have a tremendous respect for Demir. Some of the best takedown defense, and he never quite cracked that top 10 range, but I always thought he had it in him. And of course, Gamrot, so it's tough. The resume here.
True.
Guram blows him out of the water, even though he's 2-2.
Yeah.
I think they're both just so skilled. It's going to be so close, I think.
Yeah, totally agree with you. Next fight, though, we got Colin Loughran versus Nathan Fletcher. I'll go ahead and start this one. So as the week goes on, I am starting to like Fletcher a ton. And I was just maybe medium confidence level with him early on, but I don't know what it is, but I'm going with Fletcher here. I think he's going to have the better wrestling. I think he's going to have the better grappling. The striking, honestly, I don't think it's all that different. Maybe you favor Loughran a little bit with his boxing, and he is very durable. He does get hit a lot. He's got a big-ass head for bantamweight. But what I like with Fletcher, though, is he has better footwork on the feet. He's got good takedowns. I think he's quicker, too. And then with Loughran, like I said, he's just kind of stiff when he's up there. And he can stuff some takedowns. He's a strong guy, but if he gets taken down, Nathan's going to keep him down. He's a very good grappler, has good BJJ when he's on top, especially. And they fought maybe 5 years ago or something as amateurs, and Nathan won. Basically, he was taking down Loughran, and I think it's kind of going to happen the same way almost. On the feet, like I said, it could be a little close. I don't see a finish unless I see maybe Fletcher get a sub, but the line, I mean, a lot of money's coming in on Loughran. It was like minus 140, I think, early in the week. Now it's a pick 'em. I like Fletcher in the spot a lot. I think he's got the grappling edge clearly, and I like it a lot. What do you think?
I'm torn on it. Like you said, in that amateur fight, Fletcher definitely had the better scrambles and was able to out position him many times. But like since then, I haven't just been overly impressed with Fletcher. Con Offley wasn't able to get Myron Santos down, but Francis Marshall was able to get Santos down pretty easy. Con Offley got Fletcher down, right? So I'm trying to use the wrestling MMA math of how good is Fletcher's takedown defense. Like if Con Offley's got dominant positions on you, I don't think your wrestling is great. And then next time out against Ziggy Ramaska's got no ground game, and he was able to get a couple reversals and have some decent moments on the ground against Fletcher. I think Fletcher's ground game's a tiny bit overrated. Is the point? Neither guy's great on the feet. Loughran, we used to think he was a really good wrestler, but that's kind of proven to be inaccurate. Whereas the last fight, I think it's two incredibly skilled guys. I think this is like two bums. And I don't know how anyone could be like super confident. I'll probably be parlaying some overs here and holding my nose, I'm really struggling here. I did think it should be closer to a pick 'em. I think Loughran's a little bit better on the feet. And Fletcher's a little bit better in the scrambles.
Yeah.
I think it's got pick 'em written all over it. So to me, it's like a dog or pass. I wish one of them was a wider dog and I would just pick that underdog.
Yeah. I'll give a little bit of credit to Fletcher, though, or leeway for his last two fights, though. He was fighting at featherweight. He's actually more a bantamweight. So this is going back down to bantamweight now. I think he'll have more success. I think he's not strong enough for his wrestling that he has as a featherweight. So maybe he was struggling a little bit with that strength difference, but we'll see. I mean, I'm just speculating at this point, but I think he has the edge in this one. That's just me.
That's a good point. And Loughran, like when he struggled against Hadley was moving up in weight. So
and those takedown. All he needed to do was take Hadley down. He would have won. Yeah, like easily. No, he couldn't get a takedown. Like I think he tried maybe twice, and he stopped.
Yeah, it was pretty pathetic. So I don't know. Maybe you're winning me over a little bit. But I think it's going to be on the feet. Quite a bit. And Loughran's just more powerful, right? He's a little brick shit house, and so I'm struggling.
I'm trying to think. I just don't see Loughran getting a KO. I know he's got 5 KOs on his record, but they're all on the regional scene. I mean, some of them are against pretty good guys, but the early ones are against bums. So, but he has fought pretty tough guys like Taylor, Lopoulos, and Pacheco. He's very durable. He's tough. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it'll be an interesting fight. If I was Fletcher, like I said earlier, I hope he goes for the wrestling and grappling to get him down. I think he can. But if he doesn't, it's going to be a close fight for sure. I just think that he needs to get that thing down. Get it down.
Yeah. Over 2.5 is -230 on DraftKings. I think that's a good parlay leg.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, the only finish I see is maybe a Fletcher sub, and that's probably later in the fight. Maybe when he wears down Loughran and maybe catches his neck on something stupid. But let's see. Ricky says, 100% facts, toughest first round schedule ever. I can't think of a tougher one than that, though. There might be someone that rivals it, but can't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah. He won against, I think so too. I thought Fletcher gets reversed really easily. We'll see. Like I said, it was featherweight, so we'll see what happens. If maybe we'll see. Might be a different game plan now. Effie's getting swole. Okay. Dog or pass top fight. What's up, Jacob? I wish you had a graphic when you talk about fights. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. I used to do stuff like that, but it's just easier doing it like this. But Johnny is a verified and certified bum whisperer. I trust his judgment. I try my best. I can point out a bum miles away. That's why he's so confident. What's that signed glove at the back?
That's Mike Tyson.
Oh, nice.
I've got a lot of signed shit. Most of it's in a tote in the closet over here.
Nice. and I forgot the polls. Yeah, polls are a lot of work on YouTube. I don't want to do it. So I'm being lazy right now. Sorry, guys. But the next fight's going to be an interesting one. I've been looking forward to this one all week. Shayna Bannon versus Pooja Tumar. Who do you like? Or Shauna, whatever you want to say.
I think I'll go Bannon. It's going to be a really close fight. I think Bannon's got a little smoother footwork. Pooja's got pretty fast footwork, but it's like kind of herky-jerky, and it's like terrified. Like she just really gets out of range, whereas Bannon, I think, like stays a little calmer and gets out of range, but can still strike from there. Like Pooja, I don't think has very good counters. She's just moving forward and throwing or evading at 100% speed. I like Bannon's ability to like throw a high kick and then throw a 1-2 right behind it. I think Bannon's got the better jiu-jitsu. She had Ardeline in an armbar, deep armbar threat. Pooja, it's been a long time, but Pooja's been submitted many times. I think they're both durable, but like I think Pooja's only path here is to rock Bannon. I shouldn't say, it could just be close point fighting, right? But I think Bannon could have the better moments on the ground, should win more minutes. I think Pooja kind of needs to rock her. I think Pooja does have more power, but Bannon's durable. Bannon, didn't get finished by Dakota Dacheva, and so there's like two conflicting narratives. It's like the hometown girl versus the Indian fighter, and the UFC would really love like an Indian star trying to crack into the market in India. So, kind of conflicting narratives, but I think the crowd will be supporting both of them. There's a lot of Indian folks in England, of course. So I'm just struggling, and I would love to go with like the plus 155 dog in that type of scenario. But I do think Bannon's just going to win more moments and has a chance to look really good if it hits the ground.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this fight is probably the worst one out of all of them, let's be honest. But I do favor Bannon. She will also have a 6-inch reach advantage that will help her out on the feet. I just think she's the one that's going to be probably going for takedowns and pushing up against the cage. I think she'll be a little bit stronger in the clinch. And I think she can use her trips and get some takedowns. And we've seen Tumar get taken down and not look very good. But on the feet, I do think it's pretty close. I mean, you can favor maybe Tumar a little bit, but even then, it's so close. You're just like, I don't even know who to pick. But Bannon is going to be the hometown favorite. Maybe she gets all the crowd with her, but who knows? Maybe Tumar does too. Who knows? Whoever's there, we'll see. But going with Bannon by decision. If you want a free leg, the over 2.5 is going to hit 99.8 times out of 100. Like we said last week with Sam Hughes and whoever the other one was. I don't remember. Luciano. So yeah, give me Bannon to win by decision. So this is the break fight if you need a break. Try to get everything out of the way, make dinner real quick, get some food, beer, come back, you'll be fine. It's going to take at least 20 minutes and you'll have time. So let's see what everyone else says here. This fight is ass. Yep. Terrible fight. The over should be minus 800. That's why I said it's free. It's like minus 550. So there you go. India only won 3 bronze medals in the Olympics out of 3 billion people. Once per billion is terrible ratio. Yeah. Johnny, why do I get the impression that Shauna Bannon is your type of blonde? Like if you were on the mechanics garage, you would have posted her. I'm not into blondes, honestly. I like brunettes better. It's just me. So maybe she won't. Definitely fight ends and split. What's up, May Robs? What's up? I did it. 3K on a 5-leg parlay. There you go. Let's go, May Robs. That's our guy. Killing it with his parlays. Always. That's awesome, man. Keep it going for this card. But we got the next one here. It's going to be Andre Puliaev versus Christian Leroy Duncan. I'll go ahead and go. I'm picking Leroy Duncan just because he's not making his UFC debut. And I do think he is a little bit better on the feet. If the fight does get to the mat, I mean, I don't think it will. If it does, he'll probably get right back up on the feet. But because, Duncan does have good takedown defense. He's a little unorthodox on the feet, though. Sometimes he can be a little low volume, which does frustrate me in some of those fights when I bet him. But Andre, like, he's all right. He's got solid striking. He's got a good jab though, I will say. He's wrestling in good takedowns if he does decide to use it. But we'll see. But I'm going with Christian. I learned my lesson last week. I'm not gonna fall for the trap for the Dana White Contender Series guys. So I'll say by decision again, but I'm staying away from this. I'm not interested in this fight, to be honest, for betting perspective. What do you think?
Yeah, I got to go Leroy. I was hoping that I could bet Puliayev because I didn't really remember his Contender Series fight that well, or his
that's all you need to know.
Yeah. But I definitely remember how unimpressed I've been with CLD recently.
Yes, that's true too.
Against Petrosian and Gregory, he's just airballing, spinning crap. He's literally running away from Gregory. And so when I saw, Puliayev was plus 440 on DraftKings, Puliayev was the first guy I researched this week, hoping that I could find a 20% chance he's going to win and pay off that plus 440. But I couldn't pull the trigger on that. He's not great. He's long, technical, good kicks, tons of body kicks on Contender Series, right? He's got like nice straight punches, but he's kind of lanky. He's always off balance. He's just like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man,
Yeah.
And he's just like a baby giraffe out there, just always off balance. And he did show some bad cardio and grappling back in the day. He's got like some submission wins and ground and pound wins. If you just look at Tapology, you might think, oh, this guy's like good on the ground. He was trashed on the ground, but his, he looked better on Contender Series. But still the striking holes were very much there. Striking defense specifically, again, just never being like centered and on balance, terrible footwork and zero head movement. I think CLD is definitely live to crack him here, either with punches or some spinning bullshit. So lately CLD has been kind of like finishing folks. I used to think of him as kind of a point fighter. He's kind of weird. Like lately in his last 7 fights, he either blows you out of the water and finishes you, or he loses a decision. I'm torn on a prop here because Puliayev, he's got bad head movement, bad striking defense, but he plays it safe. I think time's kind of going to fly by in this fight with Puliayev being like low volume, peppering out body kicks, CLD airballing a bunch of dumb stuff. But it's only going to take one crazy spinning attack to land to put Puliayev out. So I'm struggling on a prop. I'm thinking like round 2, round 3 KO for CLD.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if he does find the KO, it's definitely going to be in rounds 2 or 3 for sure. But again, I can't bet this fight. I don't know what to do. Like, it's one of those I'm not really interested in either, which makes it probably a little bit worse too. But I hate his money line too. It's too wide. I think even though he is fighting some guy I don't think is all that great, but it's just that one time where, it happened last week. We thought a couple guys weren't that great, and look what happened. They won. So
yeah.
Puliayev sucks, not UFC level in my opinion. Quite possibly true. We'll see. But hey, you might get a spinning knockout wheel kick like what's his name? Carlos Vera did, or whatever he did. Not spinning, but Rem Dog, never trust a ball guy that wears a wave cap. Agreed. I think CLD finishes this bum. Okay. What's up, James? At least that's what the UFC said when they made the matchup. Okay. American Uni losing by 10. Oh boy. Already? Sheesh.
God, I got to do March Madness prep like all night tonight after this. I haven't done any.
I've been doing a little bit here and there at work, so it passes the time. So I did have a little bet on American just because it was American. That's about it. Parlay PCLD inside the distance. Okay.
Duke usually gets a bunch of casual money. It's like Yankees fans.
Yeah.
Betting Duke.
Everybody knows who Duke is for college basketball.
Yeah, and everybody loves Cooper Flag, but sharp money is actually on Duke, interestingly, to win it all.
Really? To win it all?
Yeah.
Are they worried about Cooper Flag's injury though?
I am.
I am too.
Yeah.
I mean, he might play later in the tournament, but I don't think it's gonna be 100%.
Yeah.
Which could play a part. It might not.
Yeah.
matter, to be honest, because they're pretty good.
I was telling my SDRs not to schedule shit for Thursday and Friday.
That's an all-day event.
Yeah.
Next fight, though, we got is going to be an interesting one. Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin, and I'll let you start this one.
Yeah, I hate to be like so torn and wishy-washy on so many of these, but this is one where I'm struggling. I think Mick's a little bit better on the feet. I think Tybura is a little bit better on the ground. A couple fights ago, I would have said Tybura is far better on the ground. But when you get armbarred from guard against...
That was a stupid mistake.
If a 260-pound guy armbars you from guard, like
that's rough.
Then I can't, compliment your ground game too much anymore. But Tybura's getting up there in age. Of course, it's heavyweight, and they have a longer shelf life, as we know. I think people overstate and overrate the whole Parkin trains with Aspinall thing. But I'll tell you, Parkin's striking is looking vastly improved lately. I think I'll go Parkin, probably by decision.
Okay. Yeah, it is a close fight for sure. The line says so as well, and I think it switched. Mick Parkin was the slight underdog. Now Tybura is. I'm going with Tybura though. I know it's a close fight. I do think he's going to try to go for some wrestling and grappling on the feet. You can maybe edge it to Parkin. But I think, Tybura's striking isn't all that bad either. And another thing, too, he's fought the way better competition. He has way more experience, too. I know he's older, but heavyweights, I don't really look at age all that much because, to me, they kind of perform the same way, to be honest, unless you're a freak athlete like Tom Aspinall or something like that. But, which these two guys aren't freak athletes. And, yeah, I'm just going to go with the experience side, and I think he can get some wrestling and grappling going. I do think it goes a decision. Mick Parkin, like some of his fights, though, if you really go back and watch, like he hasn't really wowed me. He has improved ever so slightly in each one of them, but like he's getting close fights against Mo Usman. He looked good against Lucas Brzezinski. Cool, that's fine. Tybura would have probably done the same. Kai Machado, okay, not great. Jamal Pogues, okay, fine. Like, yeah, he's fighting the bottom of the barrel, and you have to start somewhere. But this is a pretty big step up, honestly. Like, for a heavyweight, like, I would say Tybura is definitely a step up from what he's fighting, at least one. And heavyweight, that's a pretty big thing, because usually all of them are in the same boat. But we'll see. I could see Parker winning, but I'm just going to go with Tybura by decision.
Yeah, no, I agree with all that. And I'm historically a Tybura guy. I feel like I got Tybura at like a pick'em, and I hammered him against Jonata Diniz on Tapology. It says he was minus 145, but I really feel like I got a way better line than that. I knew Diniz had absolutely no ground game.
No,
so like Tybura's got me paid, more times than not. I was on him against Romanov too as a huge dog. He was like plus 300, and I played his money line and like round 3 finish, and he almost got the round 3 finish because, if you have any level of ground game and any level of cardio, you can beat Alexander Romanov. So like I've had a historically good read on Tybura, especially when he's an underdog. But
he's an underdog now.
Yeah. It's just Parkin's ground game is better than two of us.
Better than most. Yes.
Jonata Diniz.
Oh, 100%.
And Parkin's got really solid volume on the feet, like pretty good volume for a heavyweight, interestingly, which
Tybura's, honestly, if you want to be fair, I think they're very similar in a way. Because now that I'm thinking about it, like, because whenever you're explaining Parkin, I'm like, man, Tybura's kind of the same. Like the same thing. They might be even. Who knows? Which is why the line is flip-flopping.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they are even. Parkin maybe a little better on the feet. Marcin a little better on the ground, I think.
Yeah, and experience and like age, like that cancels out. It's like, what do you do?
Right. I think that who's vastly improved, though, that's got to be Mick.
Yeah, Tybura is probably a finished product for sure. But I would say if you got plus money on any guy, you probably did your job because I think it's going to be that close of a fight.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it's got Dogger Pass written all over it. But and I hate parlaying heavyweight overs because it's burned me. I think like even
I think
Nick
it's
Parkin's
safe.
last fight. Yeah, like I freaking like I can't. I'm pretty sure I was on like Fight to Start round 2 and Parkin versus Brzezinski. So parlaying overs on heavyweight fights is never a good idea. But I think this one goes the distance at a decent price.
Yeah. Saba likes Tybura for the win. Slick Mick is good enough on the ground to avoid the sub. I think for sure. But I don't know if he'll avoid like getting taken down and stuff. We'll see. If Puliayev follow his corner, he could win, but I think he's not going to. What's up, Tem? Spivak parking, ground game, big difference. Agreed. But man, that was so weird. He got that freaking armbar. It still mind boggles me when I rewatched that. I was like, Tybura just made a dumb mistake and he got armbar. Out of all things to happen, I was like, an armbar? Like not like a head and arm choke or something? Like, no, an armbar from a heavyweight armbar.
Yeah. If Spivak
That's wild.
If Spivak takes you down, he's on top and finishes you, there, no shame in that. Spivak's a beast, but getting subbed from guard by a 260-pound guy.
Looking like Charles Oliveira out there. It's wild. What's up, SK? Sergey was more than 260 pounds when he subbed.
Probably right, yeah.
Yep. Dev likes parking all day of the week. Okay. Twice on Sunday or just once? You let me know. Think Tybura takes it? Tybura has no chin. Well, I mean, he's fighting power punchers. So yeah. I'll give him a pass. Like, I don't think Mick Parkin's at that level of like Francis Ngannou and stuff like that, or Tom Aspinall. But
interesting that this says Sergey was only 238 in that Tybura fight.
Oh, really? He was that? Oh. I know he's usually like around 240, 250 range, but
who knows? There's a really hilarious Tapology mistake that we'll talk about in the co-main event. So Tapology isn't always right. So
I know that because I think who was it? Kai Baralho. They had him listed at like 5'11". I'm like, he is all of like 6'2", maybe even 6'3". And like I think his opponent, the first or second opponent, like his opponent was actually like taller on Tapology, and when they went to face off, there was like a 3 or 4 inch difference. I'm like, oh hell no. Tybura for Effie as well, gonna hop on this in the sauna. Thanks Effie for letting us know. Tybura's the easiest play on the card. Okay, Dirty Reg, we're on the same page. That's what happened.
Can't blame you. When you look at their resumes, it's like I would think Tybura should be an easy pick, and then it's just maybe you're right. Like,
if you get plus money on any guy, I think that's the right bet. Not pick, but bet.
I think maybe Parkin's recent improvements are getting in my head a little bit, but like nobody expected him to look as good in the striking as he has recently. I
just need to see it. Like Tybura is a good test. We'll see if he actually improved or not. One of those things, but I know what I'm going to get from Tybura, so that's kind of why I like him too a little bit more. But it's a close fight. Is it crazy to pick High Point against Purdue? As a Purdue, I don't want to say fan, but I do follow Purdue college basketball. They're not as good as they were last year for sure. ED was a big reason, but High Point has a chance, but I still think Purdue gets it done. Purdue's pretty good. Big Ten, you can't fade a Big Ten team unless your name is Oregon, because they're not really Big Ten in my eyes.
Same.
They're always going to be Pac-12 or Pac-10, whatever you want to say. Let's see. Next fight, though, we will get back into UFC. We will sprinkle in NCAA every now and then, though. We got Loner Kavanaugh versus Felipe Dos Santos. Interesting fight. I believe it is my turn. I'm going to go with Kavanaugh. I know this is probably going to end up being a close split decision. Both guys are good strikers in their own way. I would say Kavanaugh is a little bit better boxer, but he does have good kicks and good Muay Thai as well. But Santos is a little bit more, he can use his kicks more, knees, elbows, stuff like that. Felipe does have the grappling, but I don't think he's going to probably use it. He doesn't really use it unless like the other person has. And I keep going back to like some of the Dos Santos fights, like he's looked good and then he looks awful. And then he'll make a mistake, which will cost him the fight. And I think that's what's swaying me on the Kavanaugh side is just the mistakes. Sometimes he'll and then the inconsistency. Like I think Kavanaugh, like I know he was in a close fight in his first fight, but that was his first fight. He got that out of the way, so I don't have to worry about the UFC debut jitters and all that stuff. He knows what's going on. But like I like this. Maybe this is another thing too. I like the style of Kavanaugh. He kind of reminds me of like a Joshua Van, like a Kevin Blahejos, something like that. Where they just kind of push forward. They use their boxing and they're very tough, durable, quick combos, work the body. Like I love that style of fighter. I don't know why, but that's my guy. So it sucks, but I'm going to go with Kavanaugh to win. I think it's going to be a decision, though. I think this fight, the over 2.5 is a good look if you don't know which side to pick. It'll be a fun one, though. I'll tell you that. What do you think?
Yeah, no, two incredibly skilled guys. You know, I think Felipe's had a really rough resume, right? Like,
true.
You know,
first one for sure.
Yeah. And Cap was on kind of short notice there, you know, so maybe Cap on a full camp actually absolutely torches him, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe Cap pokes him in the eyes 4 times and gets him out of there, you know.
I'm surprised he didn't.
Yeah. But I think Felipe's damn good. I think Kavanaugh's damn good too, and I also like his style. Rips the body, well-rounded. Yep. I mean, it's 0 for 2 on takedowns in the UFC. He's not like a, you know, hulking, smothering wrestler like people are talking like he is. But
no, I don't think he's going to shoot a takedown at all.
Yeah, especially with that loud London crowd going absolutely wild. You know, I think we're going to see a bunch of people maybe like forego the ground game and just go in there and brawl, and I can't wait for it. But you know, on the feet, I think Felipe is very skilled. He's got good scrambles, you know, decent off his back. His takedown defense is a concern. Victor Altamirano went like 9 for 11 on him.
Yeah, that was a bad look for him, and I don't think he won that fight.
Yeah, and I like Victor. Victor's decent, but like, you know, he shouldn't land whatever percentage of takedowns.
Shouldn't have made it that close either.
Yeah. I mean, it almost could have gone either way. Incredibly close fight. Yeah, like you said. So, but I think it's a little bit of a wide line, and I think it's close everywhere. I think it's close on the ground, close on the feet. Felipe is very solid. So, you know, I think it's a wide line, but I'll go Kavanaugh, and I think I'll agree decision.
Yeah. This is going to be a fun fight, though. Very fun. I'm looking forward to this. Is one I'm looking forward to. I know both guys are super young, 23, 24 range or so. But I just love the style of Kavanaugh. Like, I love the style of Kevin Vallejos. I love the style of Joshua Van. Like, those guys, I don't know what. Like, those guys are like the up-and-coming new UFC, I want to say. Like, that style, I want more people like that. Please. All of them.
I agree. Yeah.
Let's see.
So I'm really torn on a prop because I think Felipe could win a round maybe.
No, the plus 3.5, I think that's a good bet. I think it's going to be like, I don't think one guy is going to like 30-27 unless the judges are crazy, which can happen. We've seen it last week in the Holloway fight. Like, there's no way Alex Hernandez won all 3 rounds. No way.
Yeah, that's horseshit. I told you, you know this already, but it was on Holloway split decision plus 1,400, and I thought for sure that was it.
It should have been a split. At the very least, split for Hernandez.
Yeah.
But
so. You know, these judges, we haven't brought it up yet. These London judges are insane.
They are wild.
2 years ago, like almost to the day, like almost exactly 2 years ago, Leon versus Usman, I cashed Gaethje split decision plus 2,400, Leon split decision plus 2,000, and bless his heart, Leon point deduction, you know, Leon Usman point deduction plus 2,000. It was one of the best like straight betting nights of my life. I typically am not playing that many risky, like those are all full unit plays. Wild night. You could tell like in the early prelims that the judges were, I don't know, I don't know, the off their shit, or they were they were taking the piss. I can't say about you know, how they were just on one that night. But that's something to keep in mind on this card. These
Very
English
true.
judges, you know, get wild.
The one time the English judges did not do what they were supposed to do when the English fighter won, literally, but gave it to the other guy, was the Davy Grant and what's his name? Marcos fight. Daniel Marcos fight.
Mm.
I thought David Grant won. I know it was a close fight, but they gave it like to Marcos, and I was like, you do know who's English, right? Like, come on.
Yeah.
But Dirty Red says, we've seen it before. Tybura gets hit and then gets the takedown and will work in top control at the rest of the fight. Yeah, we've seen that a few times. Yep. Saba says not winning the contest. You never know. You never know, Saba. We got Pick'em MMA in here. What's up, Pick'em? Appreciate you hanging out with us.
My boy Nick.
Tell us who you like in this fight. This is a great fight. Agree. We got Carmi. What up, Johnny? What's up, man? Kavanaugh not lose his 0, and I hope not. It's been a rough.
How did we not bring that up? I meant to bring it up.
I know. I forgot too. But yeah, dude.
What's the worst base for MMA in 2025? Being undefeated.
I will say this, though. At least he's not making his UFC debut. Because that's double trouble. And I was like, oh, and Mick Parkin's 0 as well. He's 10-0.
No,
so there's another one we got to worry about. There's 2 so far. I think that's the only 2, if I'm not mistaken. Felipe doesn't go away. He's going to hang in there to the end. I think Kavanaugh's not going away either. I think it's going to be a fun back and forth. Who's going to be pushing who forward? But I just think Kavanaugh will be the one pushing forward a little bit more. But that's me. Betting on what the judges do is random. Yeah, it is. It really is. But that's like the last case scenario. Like I said, with the Shauna Bannon fight, I was like, I don't know. But if it's close, she probably wins. Told you last week Zombie would win. Yeah, I was on Zombie pretty heavily.
It's one of the only bets I hit.
It was a good one. I got her early at plus 185. I was happy with that one. That was a good one. Pick'em is top 2-8. Pick'em is a top 2. Okay, yeah, maybe. Oh, yeah. We think you said that last week on the show. This week, upset Dos Santos submission. That would be wild. I could see it though.
He always drops for guillotines, which I hate, but he shows really nice.
If Kavanaugh shoots a takedown, that's the only thing I could see happening. But
I hate when guys drop for gillies. Soccer 0-0. That's the hack for betting soccer. Bet the 0-0 draw every game.
That's the worst score in the world. I hate it with my heart. I hate a 0-0 soccer game.
You want to make a 0-0 soccer game exciting? Bet the 0-0 correct score. You will love every flop and
fair enough.
Kicking the ball around in the middle of the field and airballing the net.
That is true. I will say, if I had a bet on a 0-0, I would love it. Which I usually never ever do. I usually have both teams to score. So
we were on a cruise for the, what was it, the Europes, or I can't remember what it's called.
Europa or Champions.
Yeah, so we're like at the pool on a cruise and got like literally hundreds of people doing socials every time someone would flop. And we were lit. We were super lit.
That's awesome.
Like literally everyone was in on it. Everyone was like, oh, like everyone was doing socials every time someone would flop. It was pretty fun.
That sounds like a fun idea for drinking. Kavanaugh is really good off his back foot too. Let's go. I'm okay with that. Chimaev, Taporia, Shavkat, and Bo are all undefeated. I can see one of them losing potentially in the near future.
Oh, Shavkat's gonna get slammed on his head by Bilal. I'm on Bilal plus 190. The fight has to occur by August 31st or it voids. So now I'm kind of nervous.
Oh, that's gonna be close.
But now Bilal's only plus 135 versus Shavkat, which I still think is a hammer spot.
Is he?
Yeah, on like Bet Online, you can bet like future fights.
Oh, okay. What's up, JJ? Who do you got, Drew Dober or Dan? Was it Ige? Who's fighting Drew Dober?
Dan Egros. Never heard of him.
That's what I was thinking too.
I love that Darth Vader picture.
Is it Ige? I'm looking up.
Isn't Ige like 145?
Oh, that's true. Who is he fighting? I know he's fighting, but I don't know who he's fighting. Son of a bee. Now I gotta look it up because it's making me mad. Come on, Tapology.
He got us.
Oh, JJ. Damn it. Look like an idiot. Parker will lose his 0. Don't be silly. All right.
Don't be silly, jump a gilly.
Now you're making me mad. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Ricky
you got
knows
me,
what's up. Ball's a lock.
Let's see. All right, let's go to the next fight. We've been spending too much time on that one.
Your
but it's going to be a fun fight.
I like your chat is the best. Like I could do this.
The chat just keeps going, and I hate to like not talk to them because they always have funny stuff like JJ, but I didn't even catch it. But yeah, we'll move on because I'm sure people are like, "What the hell?" Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. Who do you like?
My only bet so far is I got 2.5 units on Jai Herbert at -125. I know Padilla is a super popular dog. I like Padilla. I played him. I bet him as a huge dog against Lontop. And I know Padilla's striking looked really good against Rongju. I hope I'm remembering that correctly. It was Rongju where he landed those elbows and busted his eyes.
Just so that bad. 12-6. Bam.
Yeah, just like.
And the funny thing is, like Rongju looked at it. He's like, "Oh, my eye!" He poked, and he's like,
"An eye poke." Yeah.
He didn't even see it. That's the best part.
And so, I got a healthy respect for Padilla for sure. But I think Jai's got good get-ups, far better striking here. Hometown crowd behind him, going to be, going crazy every time he lands anything. I think Padilla's kind of like, I don't want to say overrated, but I think we're getting a discount on Herbert because of Padilla's last couple of very good performances. And then like everybody, like everyone I follow on Instagram and stuff, they're all on Padilla. And I get it. He's a stud, but I think, Jai is just going to be far longer and far more technical on the feet, and hope he comes through.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun fight. I'm really interested to see what happens. Again, there's a lot of them like that. I'll say this like 5 more times at least. I'm going to go with Chris Padilla, though. I like his grappling if he can get the fight to the mat somehow. On the feet, though, I don't think Padilla's a bum, but I would favor Jai's technical striking more. But the chin does worry me a touch. We haven't seen him get rocked or anything lately, but he beat Bedoya. Sure, that's cool. The Ziam fight wasn't the greatest look, but Ziam's actually looking pretty good. He's actually improving, so I'll give him a little bit of credit there.
Incredibly good. Yeah, yes. Ziam is just on fire.
Yeah. So at first I was like, "Oh, geez, man," and then I'm like, "Oh, okay, well." You got you got hit there early. But yeah, this might be a close fight if it stays on the feet. I will say that. But if Padilla can somehow get this fight to the mat, maybe Jai Herbert makes a mistake and tries to wrestle. I don't think he should, but we have seen him implement some wrestling here and there, but this is not the fight to do it. I think he should keep it on the feet. But I'm still gonna go with Padilla just because of that. I think he's the more dangerous guy, but Herbert is dangerous too in his own way. Just lately, 36 years old, he's not really getting the finishes anymore like he used to. And I don't know about that chin. If he gets touched with that elbow, we'll see. But yeah.
I'll tell you, I think Padilla's wrestling is a little overrated.
It's the grappling more so for me.
Well, he's got great grappling for sure.
That's why I said he has to get the fight to the mat somehow. I don't know how, but do it. And you have a clear edge.
I actually haven't rewatched it this week yet. I'm like super behind on my prep from travel. If I recall, I'm pretty sure I'm right. He couldn't get the first couple takedowns against Lontop, and then Lontop threw like a kind of a step-in knee. Lontop was landing on him and got a little over-aggressive, and it led to the takedown that led to the end. So take it for what it's worth, but I think Padilla's wrestling's a little overrated. I think it's going to play out on the feet. I think Padilla's probably going to be in love with that elbow, trying to throw it multiple times and getting jabbed up. But super fun fight. I like both. I'm a fan of both these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, the Herbert chin was a gigantic concern, of course, for a long time there.
He's looking better now.
But I mean, Ziam's been finishing some guys. Klein's got mad power. Kyle Nelson used to just be an absolute bum who couldn't make it out of the first round. Kyle Nelson's been looking better. Bedoya, I think, is decent. Like, I think there might be a chance that Padilla is the worst out of those 5 guys. Nelson, Klein,
I think he's better than Bedoya. That's it, right now.
Or maybe Nelson, but I think
that one's close. I would love to see that fight too.
I think
Padilla versus Nelson.
I think he's been like playing over his talent level a little bit. I think so, and I like Padilla. He's a cool guy too. I'm just a fan of him personally, plus his fighting style. But I think he's like playing over his talent level a little bit these last couple fights. But it's going to be a banger.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. This could be the fight where if he does look good and you're like, okay, that was not a fluke with Rong Zhu. And Rong Zhu's a good striker too. Let's not forget about that. And he was able to land that on him. So, but yeah, we'll see. Like, it's going to be another good fight, closely lined for a reason. We'll see. Kenny Powers, what's up, Ken? The Rong Zhu, indeed. Ricky likes Padilla. I think he just outdogs him. That could be something. Maybe later in the rounds, maybe he has a little bit more in the tank, if you want to say. Padilla looks like he smells bad. yeah, I won't say that. What's up tomorrow? Let's see. I think Jai will probably lose on the optics. It could play a part. He is the hometown fighter, though. Well, so it might play out right down the middle. We'll see. Yeah, he got me. Padilla, third round. Okay. Let's see. Next one, though. Let's move up to another fun one. Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrier. I'll say it first and foremost before I get started. I am a big Nathaniel Wood fan. I love his style of fighting, but I can't pick him in this fight. I got to go Morgan. I think he's a little bit stronger. He hits a little bit harder. He's a very good striker. I think he's got good takedown defense. If Nathaniel wants to try to go for some wrestling, which we have seen him do, and then he's going to be a little bit smaller. I don't think he has the power to get in the brawls like he likes to get sometimes, and he always gets rocked. Like Nathaniel always gets rocked. And that'll lose him the round. Like he'll look good for 3.5 minutes, and then he gets dropped, and that'll lose him around. And I think that might happen here with one of the rounds at least. But he's very durable though, and good recoverability when he gets rocked. But man, he's to get rocked, and that's what worries me in this fight. So I'm gonna go with Morgan to win. I'll say decision, but man, Morgan does pack a punch if he lands. So I think Nathaniel will be okay with one rockage, if you want to say, but if it's two, I don't think he's getting back from that. So give me Morgan to win. I'll say decision. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Morgan decision as well. I'm a big fan of the prospect, but like you said, it's just super hard to trust him. Naimov, drops him in the very opening moments. Nathaniel Wood, that is, but Wood comes back. Like you put it perfectly. You kind of took the words out of my mouth. Like it's really hard to predict Nathaniel Wood. He's busted parlays multiple times. Just being like the far better fighter, minus 300 guy, and then getting rocked and beat. And it's hard to trust him. But I think Morgan's shown some good takedown defense in the past, but I think Wood could hypothetically get him down if he tries. Mm-hmm. The thing about it's so different. They're similar but different. Nathaniel Wood always has close fights that are incredibly back and forth.
Yeah.
Charrier is always in close ass fights that are just like down the middle the whole time. Like Charrier, when you look at his resume, he's lost to some pretty low level guys. He's had a jillion split decisions.
He should have won his last split decision, though. Let's be honest. Against Chepe, I thought he beat Chepe, and I had a Chepe bet.
Yeah, I would tend to agree there. And Chepe is tough, right? I mean, Morgan's been looking good, and like Morgan has one of just the craziest like fandoms I've ever seen. Like he's a French guy, but man, like he'd be in Cage Warriors in UK and just like filling the place. Every single person was there for Morgan. It seemed like he's just got like such a cult following almost out there. So I think Morgan might have the better cardio. Like we've seen Wood fade pretty bad, and not just when he gets hurt. I suppose that was like kind of when he was struggling to make bantamweight here. Is this a featherweight fight?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
he moved up to featherweight for sure.
Yeah. So in my mind, I've got the cardio problems for Wood, and maybe that contributed to the durability concerns too, and getting rocked all the time.
True.
But he's just such an aggressive guy. He's always going forward. He doesn't have like terrible defensive striking lapses. It's not like he's got terrible head movement, and he's just always moving forward and gets a little predictable on his entries.
He's good inside the pocket. Like, he's got good dirty boxing. But Morgan's more of like a kickboxer, so I don't think he's going to want to do that. He's probably going to stay at range a little bit.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. And I'd say Wood's stronger, if they do get in the pocket and get in a firefight.
Yeah. But I just don't trust the chin. That's the thing.
Yeah. So I hate
he likes to do that, though. I know. It sucks for me to I want to pick Nathaniel, but I can't.
Yeah. This might be like a dogger pass type of situation too. And it's like, and I think this has spread written all over it for Wood. Like, there's no way Morgan
probably wins one round for sure if he doesn't get finished.
Yeah. And I don't think Morgan's got the starching power of some of these guys. Like, I think Naimov has more power, probably, right? I think Morgan's more polished than a Naimov.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it would plus 3.5. It's probably going to be like minus 180 or something. Like, it's probably going to be
minus 175. You're close.
Nice.
I was looking at that when you're talking.
Nice. Yeah. So the books know. This is going to be a 29-28 fight.
Dos Santos, by the way, plus 3.5 is minus 110.
Yeah, I guess he's a far bigger dog, and that one's tough. I think that might be fine for a straight bet, but I could see Kavanaugh winning 30-27. I cannot see Cherrier winning 30-27.
Yeah, probably, and the judges won't allow that either, because Morgan does not get the the right end of the stick, if you want to say.
Yeah, well, that's
more times than that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Klaus says, I hope Tyone has a bad fall and retires soon.
Yeah, that guy does not look very mobile in there. Like,
no, he is.
You know what's the weirdest goddamn thing with Tyone? So the weirdest thing for him used to be how he always wants to go up and touch fighters' stomachs and stuff, and he talks with this mama voice. He's like, oh, so sweet, and fighters are always like, get off me, bro. The weirdest thing Tyone's doing recently is with 8 seconds left in the round, he's like
gets real close. He's like,
oh, eager to stop the fight. It's like, bro, they're gonna stop when the horn sounds. Like, what are you gonna do anyway? Like, what, you're really gonna pull this guy off if he's trying to land after the bell? Get a grip. He's getting in their way at the end of every single round. It's driving me nuts.
He's making it so that round is gonna start for everyone's bets.
That's my guy. That's what I need.
Come on. That last 10 seconds, there ain't going to be no knockouts, guys.
Okay, you just totally changed my opinion. Unlike Mark Smith, who will let someone get their ass beat for 4 minutes and 59 seconds.
100%. He needs that over too, though. And so does Jason.
Yeah. Mark Smith, I tell you.
I really think Herb is an under guy. He likes those unders. He'll call that shit right away.
Yeah. Mark Smith is so goofy. Taking a point last week, everyone's talking about how 2 weeks in a row, big time eye pokes. Should have been perhaps points taken. So of course Mark Smith is the first one to take a point.
Because he has to. He's that guy.
Because he's the fighter safety guy. He cares about fighter safety so much.
100%.
So he refs power slap. Fucking bum.
Cherrier should be 3-0 in the UFC. I agree. I do agree. I'm pissed at Nathaniel for not getting Pineda out of there last fight. I am too, but I did have a wood bet on that, so I was okay with that as well. I know the lines are different this time, but I think it's another name-off situation. Wood might be the better fighter, but he's a bantamweight and will lose on physicality. I agree, because I don't think Nathaniel Wood's going to win by knockout or anything like that. He wins a decision more times than not, so yeah. Give me your best French Cherrier in pronunciation. That's my best right there. Y'all be careful here. I'm getting a feeling Morgan could be this week's parlay buster. Yeah. I mean, he's at minus 150, 155. I think it's about right. I think Guram might be a parlay buster. Unfortunately. Hopefully not, though. I agree.
We just saw Musasa get head kicked by a judge.
I know.
God only knows, man.
And then DR get fucking Kamara by a guy who doesn't grapple. Wild. What pisses me off that he can't make 135. I wish he would go back there. Morgan is very attractive here. I've got Wood. There we go. Love it. Love to play on Woods. I love to play on Wood. Please. Tyone His grandpa, yep. He's a little creepo. Mark
So
Smith
weird.
is the worst. I agree with that too. Statement, Effie. All right, next one here we are going to move into is Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. And who do you like in this one?
This should be a really fun fight. Duncan, we know him. He's got power, good boxing, terrible kind of durability. Vucenic, I do have a pretty high opinion of. I think he's well-rounded, great ground game, great back takes, submissions from all different types of positions. I think he's got the better striking defense technique, just like the better habits, the better discipline, but more responsible. Very good low kick, but Duncan's probably got more power, right? So I do think Vucenic wins. I'm pretty confident. He's kind of, longtime Cage Warriors champ. Like, these Cage Warriors champs aren't what they used to be, man. Like, back in the day, Cage Warriors champs were like gods. And now they're all kind of like coming over and getting fraud checked.
Getting knocked out in the Dana White Contender Series.
Yeah. Or who was it? So, like, who's the absolute bum that...
Hardwick? I know he didn't look good in his Dana White Contender Series. There was another one, too. Oh,
who's the guy that...
He wrestles all the time, too.
Yeah, he, like, couldn't get the guy down. He went for, like, 20
Jack something?
Oh, god damn. Well, Jack Cartwright, he was decent. But I'm thinking of, so somebody who just fought recently, he got his win on Contender Series over some Cage Warriors guy who went, like, over 20 on takedowns. Shit. I'll spare you, because I'm not going to think of it. But it's some like Brazilian guy who Jordan Santos, beat that absolute can on Contender Series, and then comes out and loses to Ozzy freaking Diaz.
Wasn't the greatest performance, but I thought he won ever so slightly. But I get it.
That round 3 was so bad that
it was bad.
So that's what Ozzy Diaz does. He just wears guys down with pressure. But yeah, these Cage Warriors guys are not what they used to be. And but I think Vucenic lost his belt.
Yep.
But I think Vucenic is just far more skilled here. Chris, why the hell do they always put Chris Duncan and Christian Leroy Duncan on the same card?
I know. I was thinking the same thing.
Every time. So I got all kinds of bones to pick. Yeah, Will Curry. Thanks, Ram Dog. Yeah, freaking Will Curry. So I think Vucenic is more skilled, but Chris Duncan fights are always just very unpredictable. Because he could be winning and get cracked. He could be losing and crack the guy. But I'm on Vucenic.
Yep. Yeah, I'm on Jordan as well. I just think, like you said, I think he's just the better overall fighter. I like his durability, and that's Chris Duncan's like little, kryptonite. But he's kind of like a Nathaniel Wood. He'll get rocked, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere he recovers and gets a knockout or something, or he gets taken down and then he gets a guillotine because Oki doesn't know how to grapple or defensively at all. Like, some of his fights, if you go back and watch, like, you're like, man, he's losing and then wins, or they're just underwhelming. Like the Omar Morales fight, like, you should not be doing that to Omar Morales. You should be destroying Omar Morales, and that fight was close, and you could have potentially lost that fight. So I think Vucenic is better than that. If Vucenic does get the fight to the mat, though, I think it's going to pretty much keep him down and maybe even get a sub. I think he can get a knockout on the feet. I think Chris Duncan could potentially even get a knockout. I kind of like the under 2.5. Both guys are dangerous. Obviously, I do favor Jordan's durability a little bit more, but I do see some money coming in. It was minus 130. Now it's minus 145. So I do like that under look. I think we'll see some violence. At least one guy might get knocked down at least once, but we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go with Vucenic to win by submission. I think he uses that wrestling.
Do you have odds on that?
By submission?
Yeah.
Let me see. I do.
And then across
plus 180. Not the greatest, but I think that's a likely scenario, though. Manel Torres was able to club and sub him. That could happen, something like that too. I mean, I know Manel Torres is more of a demon on the feet, but he just takes one punch and then wrap up a choke real quick, and he'll tap for sure.
Yeah, I don't. I could definitely see a submission if he gets him down. I was gonna say I don't think Vucenic is gonna like crack him on the feet, but it's Chris Duncan, so never mind. He's absolutely live to crack him on the feet.
Yeah, Which is kind of why I like the sub still, even though, because if he does crack him, I think he goes for a sub right away. I don't think he's gonna like go down with him and continue it and continue like hitting him. I think he goes for a choke because Duncan will try to get up.
Yeah.
Like he won't like go backwards, like that, like, and then that choke will happen and a guillotine, and then he'll tap.
Interestingly, Vucenic went 0 for 5 on takedowns against Guram, but had some nice cage control.
Yeah,
you know, he
took that fight on short notice. He looked good in round 1.
He looked good.
Kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
So
this is gonna be a fun one.
Yep. Let's see. Ricky likes Jordan inside the distance, and that's at -110. That's not bad. If you want to bring down his line a little bit, I kind of like that under. If you can find a good price somewhere else than DraftKings, it might still be 130 somewhere else. But I saw it like maybe a day ago.
Duncan's never lost a decision. He's only lost twice, and he got finished both times.
There you go.
Round 1, and then 28 seconds into round 2. Like in his 2 losses, he never even hit 1.5 rounds.
There you go. We got BC Dave. What's up, Dave? Appreciate you hanging out with us. Yeah, let's go to the next one. Oh boy. Molly McCann versus Alexia Thinara. And I'll be honest, I didn't really do too much research on this one. I'm fading Alexia though, and maybe she proves me wrong. And I know Molly's not the greatest to back, but this is just a pick. I'm not betting this fight. If I would bet this fight though, I would bet fight does not go the distance in this one because I think there could be a finish on either side. But Molly McCann, we all know, like, she likes to push forward. She's a good striker. Terrible submission defense or grappling defense, but she does have some okay wrestling and grappling now. But she's very durable on the feet, though. But if she gets taken down, that's her kryptonite. But Alexia taking this fight on super short notice, like 4 days, making her UFC debut. But she's, she likes to push forward too. She's got good striking. She throws big shots on the feet. She's going for a finish at all times. Good submissions too when she does get takedowns. So yeah, that's why if I would bet this fight, I would do fight does not go the distance. And I think it's probably plus money. I think either girl can get a finish, whether it's going to be Alexia early, maybe submission probably, or Molly McCann survives and maybe Alexia gasses out a little bit. And then, Molly McCann puts on the pressure and maybe late round 2 or early round 3, she gets it done. Maybe just a standing KO or a spinning crazy back elbow fist thing that she's done in London like twice, I think. So just going to go with Molly as a pick. I just think it's going to be a little bit too much for Alexia, even though I do think Alexia probably could beat her. But this is just a big ask and a lot of little bit of red flags and stuff like that. And usually Brazilians too, I didn't say this earlier, but like Brazilians going over to the UK seem to always never do well, like at all. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the time difference. Maybe it's the traveling. I don't know. But from what I remember off the top of my head, like they just don't do well. So what do you think?
I think Alexia is decent. She's got good body lock trips. She's strong. She's like just crazy athletic here. Like, especially compared to Molly the Can. If you look at like who Molly's beat, it's like the very bottom of the division. Lipsky now is far.
Veronica Carolina's not too bad though.
Yeah, she's not too bad, but
yeah, you're right though.
It was that pretty bad elbow. But I don't really recall that one too well. But I don't think Molly was putting it on or like the whole fight.
No, it was just like.
Was it even or
even? She kind of went all out in the first round because it was the hometown crowd. She was like into it, but then like round 2 happened, and that's when she got it.
Yeah, I'm looking at like the stats on that fight, and oh yeah, Molly was out voluming her. Okay, so Molly, like I've had a pretty good read on her. Picked underdogs against her many times, including like Stoliarenko and Bruna Brazil. And Bruna Brazil was a pretty big dog, if I recall.
Yeah, I think she was like plus 250 or higher.
Yeah. And, so interestingly, though, like if this wasn't short notice, I'd have zero qualms on Thinara.
Oh, me too.
The only qualm is the short notice nature. Interestingly, like Bet Online, they put Thinara out as like plus 300. It only lasted for 12 minutes. You can only put, $25 on it. So you'll see guys on Instagram or Twitter or whatever that'll be like, "Oh, I got Thanara," but like, bro, it was like they limit you and whatever. And by the way, does anyone know, like, are there any alerts? Like, how do people like? Is it just coincidence that they can even see that line? Because it's only up for literally 12 minutes.
I couldn't tell you.
Like at 509, she's plus 300. At 521, she's minus 200. So somebody or a bunch of people went and played that whatever $20 limit. The point here is the books thought Molly was a significant favorite here, and the books aren't in the habit of being wrong too often, right? Like
they don't like to be, anyways. Let's put it that way.
Well, they wouldn't be in business if they were.
True.
I tell people that I'm like, this Bellagio, this $1 billion place. They didn't win. They didn't build it because of people with a system or people winning.
Yeah.
So the books, it's worth considering, right?
I gotta say, like, the reason why they did that mainly was because it's short notice. Molly's at home, like UFC debut.
All that for sure, I agree.
It's gotta be.
On edge. Molly's gonna have an absolute adrenaline dump, because she just goes way over the top crazy. Like she thinks all these people are there for her. Get a grip, girl. Like nobody really gives a shit. And so she's gonna put all of her energy into the stare downs the day before, and then get submitted. I'm on Thanara sub.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hate it at all. I honestly would probably just do her to win inside the distance or something, or maybe even round one.
Molly's a tough broad though, never been KO'd, I think
it just matters about the mat though. If you get that fight to the mat, she'll give up the arm, she'll give up the neck. Like we've seen it time and time again.
Yeah, I think she will get subbed for sure.
Alexia round one, just round one, it's plus 550.
I think that's got you only have to simulate this fight 6.5 times for it to happen once. I think it happens once. 1 out of 6.5.
What's round one submission? Let's see what.
4 fights ago, Thanara got an 8-second armbar. She's skilled chick. She's skilled. She's strong and fast.
Where are you?
You know what I want to look at also is like her takedown props. I was gonna
750 plus 750. I would just take the round one just in case.
Yeah, that's a good call. And what sucks is this fight's probably going to get the props out like last across all the fights because it was short. Oh no, my God. Okay, they're out. So let's look at the takedowns super fast. No, those aren't out yet. But yeah, Thanara to get like 3 takedowns might be plus 1,200 or something.
I think she only needs 1. That's the problem.
Yeah, she might. But
if it's anything like if it's like 1.5 or 2.5, if it's 2.5, I would do the under.
The way I like to do them is just like like not laddering them, playing every one, but like I would never do like the over 1.5 takedowns at minus 125. I would go with like the 4 at plus 1,200.
Okay, yeah.
Like Sam Hughes last week to land 3 was plus 1,200, and Molly's got the grappling holes for sure. Look at the girls who have subbed her. But I could absolutely see her, surviving through round one. So I don't know. Once those come out, that's on my mind. I'll tell you that. But round one submissions certainly on the table. But I really wish this was closer to a pick 'em, and I'd play Thanara pretty heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right with you. Let's see, where did I leave off here? I think Molly is a spinning elbow or a bust. I can't bank on that. I don't know. Blame me for that at all, for real. Barry, what's up, Barry? Sorry I'm late. This is Real Fight Picks. Okay, what's up, man? In the middle of a content creation change, hence the new name. Okay, Barry McLevin. I like this girl against Molly and Tybura best. Okay, let's go. Bro, speaking facts about Theara plus 300. Hate when people track those bets when they don't let you bet. They're frauds. I never got those lines, I'll tell you that, ever. The odds way too wide on someone for we'll see. Molly still sucks. It's always a private spot for me for Molly. I agree. I would never bet Molly. I'm just picking her because I think it's just going to be one of those too much for Alexia, but maybe she does. Maybe she gets. I like the round one for Alexia plus 550. I think it's worth a stab.
No, and I feel you, by the way, like, because like you said, the travel, the short notice nature, the hometown crowd, this wide odds, I can't argue with any of that at these odds for Molly.
And Molly, like, as much as she's not great, but her kryptonite is on the mat. If she can keep this fight on the feet, it's going to be a completely different fight than what I think a lot of people are thinking about, which I'm thinking that too. Trust me. I'm like, it's only going to take one takedown, I think. And it's probably going to be like over in 30 seconds after that. But will she get her down?
On Contender Series, Alexia went 3 for 3. Rose Conceição. Could Molly be as good as Rose Conceição? I think the short answer is yes.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm absolutely gonna be looking for those like 3+ and 4+ takedown props.
Yep. Mayrov's like the over 1.5 and Molly decision. Okay. I think if she wins, it could be a decision, maybe like a round 3 decision prop. I think she could get a finish though later in the fight. I know she's not very dangerous, but I think it's just the short notice thing, the travel, like that's what's going to play a part more so than not.
Yeah.
But the next fight though, it's going to be fun. Kevin Holland versus Gunnar Nelson. Who do you like?
So, I've always been a fan of Gunny. He's had long layoffs and injuries, but he often comes back and looks good after those layoffs. But now this week he's saying it might be his last fight, and I don't like to use either one of the R words, but especially retirement when we're talking betting. And
I was thinking of something funny to say about about the R word thing.
It applies to Molly.
Yeah.
So man, we all know Kevin's issues, right? We all know what Gunnar's great at. Seems very straightforward, but Kevin's ground game does look far better at welterweight, right? Like when he fights these big, hulking Georgians like Dolidze, yeah, definitely his ground game looks extra trash at middleweight. I was pretty confident in Gunnar, but now listening to some of his interviews and stuff doesn't seem like his head's super in the game. So it's an incredibly binary fight. My pick's Gunnar, but I'm nervous.
Okay. Yeah, my pick is Gunnar as well. I'll go on the opposite end of why I'm not picking Kevin Holland is because I cannot trust this guy whatsoever. I don't even care if Gunnar said he's retiring. You think I will never put any money on Kevin Holland ever again. This guy, I feel like he shows up for a paycheck and he doesn't care if he wins. He doesn't care if he loses. If the going gets rough, he's going to probably, I don't want to say quit, but he'll just say, okay, here's the door. I'm out. I get my money. I get 300,000, whatever he gets. Cause he's got like 20 fights in the UFC. He gets paid a good amount of money, whether win or lose. Obviously he probably wants to win, but he doesn't really care either way. And his kryptonite is grappling and wrestling. And that's what Gunnar does. Now, like you said, this is a 170. So that's better for him. I think that's a better weight class for him. But man, he keeps jumping up and down from middleweight and then cuts and this. And I know he doesn't have to cut too much weight. Not to say it's a big thing, but it does play a part a little bit. He takes fights like every 2 or 3 months, and I just question. I question his heart. I question his everything. To be honest, he's very talented. I don't want to take that away from him. He's gonna be better on the feet. He can knock out Gunnar Nelson for sure on the feet. But if this fight gets the mat, I think Kevin's going to get subbed, whether it's round 1, 2, or 3. It just takes one back take, I think, and then we'll see what happens from Gunnar. But, is there a world it could be a decision? Sure, maybe Gunnar gets him down all 3 rounds and just can't get it. Fine, whatever. We've seen that happen to Kevin a couple of times. I think I want to say it was it Vettori and Brunson, maybe? I think that's happened to him. But, yeah, I'm going to go Gunnar. I think he wins this fight. I said sub, but wouldn't shock me if it's a decision either. I can't trust Kevin ever. Yeah. I'm done. I tried a couple times and I got burned bad. And I'm like, never again. Like he has the talent to win. It seems like he only wins fights where he knows 150% that he can win this fight. And I can guarantee you he does not think that of this fight because he knows he can lose if this fight gets to the mat. Like Tim Means, like he's like, yeah, I'm gonna beat Tim Means all day, and he did. Like that's like he doesn't have that confidence anymore either. So
yeah, hard to predict him. The guy can knock out Jacare off his back.
Yeah,
knock out.
That's when he was. That's when he had that aura. Like I'm confident. I'm just gonna be big mouth. He's not a big mouth anymore. He doesn't have that aura anymore. I feel like he just wants that paycheck, man.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough to say, but
in the Hamzat fight, I was like, it sounds crazy because he got finished in like a minute or whatever.
But he got paid a crap ton of money.
He did
to do that.
But he actually like impressed me a little bit with his takedown defense there for like the short minute that it lasted. He looked better than some have against Hamzat.
True.
He's such an up and down guy. Yeah, just like impossible to trust, impossible to know what you're going to get out of him. But yeah, like he was a pick him against DeRitter last time. He hasn't even made it past round one in his last two losses.
I know. And then what's DeRitter good at? Grappling.
Yeah, of course, grappling. Yeah, and
Gunnar Nelson's like this smaller version of DeRitter, honestly.
Right. And that's kind of the only thing giving me pause here is that Kevin is better at welterweight.
He is, for sure. Let's see. Effie likes Kevin. I mean, if you can trust him, all for it. But I can't do it. Nickname should be Full Nelson. I agree with that. He missed this time. My official last bet to Holland, if he is dead to me. Well, good luck. He's been dead to me for about 4 fights. So, what's up, Robert? Gunner by submission round 2. I like that. Round 2 or round 3. Honestly, it could be round 1. What is Gunner by sub? That's a good question. Let me see.
I imagine it's like plus
200.
Ooh.
That's better than percentage. And I think Gunner has a way better chance to get that sub.
I honestly feel like it should be his money line. Like, I don't know how he wins if he doesn't get the sub.
I mean, that's almost worth a little bit of a bet just in case. I don't trust Kevin. You don't trust Kevin. Gunner by sub, I think, is a good play at 200. Maybe FanDuel gives you a little bit more than that because usually they do on props. Kevin strikes me as a don't bet on him, don't bet against him type of fighter. I don't want a good parlay ruined because of him. Yeah, never put him in a parlay. Ever. Another inside the distance. Yeah, I think that's a good play too. I think both guys are dangerous in their own way, and I don't see this fight going to decision one way or another. But it could happen. Only if Gunner like wrestles him and he just can't get a sub. That's it. That's the only thing. Or Kevin's going to knock him out on the feet eventually.
I believe welterweight is the division where it's like 50-50. Half the fights go to the distance, half don't. And then it's all styles from there, right?
Yeah.
I would say if I was lining this fight, I'd put it like minus 150 to not go the distance. If it's any better than that, I think it's plus EV.
Let me see. Oh yeah, it's minus 235 okay. to not go the distance.
Yeah, I never parlay fights to not go the distance because it's the most painful bet in the world to lose. Mm-hmm. And I think of like Alex Pereira versus Bruno Silva with minus 750 to not go the distance. Everyone was putting that in parlays, but not me. And then they cage clinch all day. I like parlaying overs because if you lose, at least you get to see somebody get jacked up. Like nothing is more painful than betting 2 monster finishers to fight not go, and then they cage clinch for 15 minutes. So I won't be touching that minus 250.
Yeah, he couldn't get Sato, but I mean you can't sub them all. It's like Pokemon. I mean you can catch them all, but you can't sub them all. But I get it. I mean there is a world where Kevin either knocks out Gunner or Gunner gets him down 3 times in 3 rounds. And I mean, Kevin does have decent submission defense, but it would have to be something like a little sneaky, but we'll see. I think it's a fun fight though. Co-main, Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg. Now, I'm going with the dog. I'm going with Jan. The reason why, I know he's old. I know he said that he had some surgeries. but he's a smart fighter. Like, he's not a Dumbo. He's gonna go in there. He's got good kicks. He's got good striking, good technical striking. He's durable. But Olberg, like, he's also a very good striker. He's got that left hook death touch, if you want to say. But it's nothing that Jan's like hasn't seen. He fought Alex Pereira. I mean, that says it there. Like, he's fought way better competition. Olberg, this is the biggest competition. I want to say almost like 2 steps above. Like, this is a huge step up. He fought, his best competition was Vulcan, and that was a close fight. Like, he didn't really like sway me like, okay, he's on the up and up. Like, Jan Blachowicz is a way better Vulcan Ozdemir. And yeah, the age does play a little bit of a part, if you want to say, but like, if we're going off of looking at on paper, like, Jan's way better, and we'll see. Maybe that's why the line's going more towards Olberg. He's younger and Jan's older with the surgeries, but if everything's okay and Jan's looking like old Jan wins this fight, like, pretty clear. And I'm shocked that he's a plus 200 underdog. So give me Jan to win. I'll say by decision, but I can see a round 3 knockout, or maybe round 2. But I'm going to go with decision. I think if that happens, I don't see Olberg winning by knockout. I'd be shocked if he does. So what do you think?
1,000,000% agree. Olberg's been doing an incredible job of capitalizing on mistakes, like Alonzo Menifield,
dumb mistakes.
Running straight into the cage, face first into the cage. And then Olberg, to his credit for being 6'4" and having such great footwork, is able to pivot off, get the angle, and blast him. I got a high opinion of Olberg, but like you said, we're talking about a former champion, and then almost won the title again, and then had a decently close fight against Alex Pereira.
He could have won.
Some people thought he won that. I wouldn't go that far.
It was close.
Yeah, it was close. I mean, how the hell is that guy plus 200 dog against this guy whose best win is Volkan Ozdemir?
And it was a close fight. Even though it says unanimous, but it was a close fight.
So, like, I was going to play Janet plus 200, and I was like, wait, what am I missing? I know he's had a long layoff. Let me try to go find out, do some research. Like, is this short notice? Like, I know it's been listed for a while, so it's not like 1 week. I know it's at least like a month, but I was like, what am I missing here?
I think it's the surgeries that he said he had.
Right. But like, he's been out, I feel like he had the time to recover. And
well, he pulled out of the Rakic fight to, I think either have or to rest up even more. That's why he hasn't really fought in a while, like a year and a half. So, and
that was only 2 months ago.
Yeah. So he has 2 months more, or 2 months more of recovery. So that's only going to play a part, or be good anyways, if you want to say.
And so I think he just turned 41 here.
I think he's at 42. He might have just turned 42.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So,
but like, he hasn't really shown me yet that he's slowing down. Like, he looked good against Alex Pereira. Like,
and his style is going to last. The Polish power, those heavy low kicks, he's not like a speed-based fighter.
He can mix in takedowns too. I forgot to even mention that. Like, and Olberg is not a wrestler. He's not going to wrestle at all.
No. Yeah, I'm definitely on Jan. I think the decision last I looked was like plus 450.
I like it.
That's a plus EV bet, baby.
Yeah. I think that's how he wins, but I can see a late KO. Maybe if Olberg is a little tired. And
yeah. Olberg's ground game has improved. I teased up earlier that, Tapology has a hilarious error on there because they say that Olberg got a round 3 rear naked choke. Who was that over? But he didn't get a rear naked choke. The time ran out. Wait, did they
for Da Woon?
Oh, Da Woon Jung, yeah.
Yeah.
The time ran out. That was a decision. If the fight was like 10 seconds longer, it might have been a rear naked choke. So I don't really care because he had the position. Time just ran out. He would have got the choke if there was 10 more seconds in the round. But technically, that was a decision win against Jung. But anyway, his ground game's improving. His cardio's improving. And like I said, he can make you pay if you make a mistake. But Jan doesn't. He's not safe. He's just smart.
Yep.
This is going to be a close fight. He's gonna stay tight, and he could absolutely crack Olberg.
Yeah.
Olberg's going to be a little higher volume and have the range, but I mean, the reach actually isn't wild here. I think the reach is close, and then Olberg's like 2 inches taller, if I recall.
Let me look. I kind of thought that they were kind of similar with height and reach, maybe a little bit towards the Olberg side, but
Jan's got the 1 inch reach advantage, and Olberg's 2 inches taller. So I think when we picture them, Jan's just so thick. Like when I picture them in my mind, like I imagine Olberg taller and longer than he really is. This line is ridiculous to me.
Yeah. I don't really do like early bets. I like wait for the card to or like right after the card, and maybe I'll do a bet for the next one. Like I bet this line before because I'm like, there's no way it's gonna stay at where it's at, and actually it's improved. Or like it got better to where like bigger plus money, and I'm like, what am I crazy? Like I don't. There's no way.
I was gonna do it at plus 200 on DraftKings, and then I was like, wait, something's fishy here.
Yeah, I thought something. I was like, man, I don't get it. And he's at plus 240 right now. Wild. I might put a little bit more on. I don't know. We'll see where the line goes. I'm gonna wait till last minute and see if it gets even higher because that's insane to me.
Yeah, and I mean against Ankalaev, like he was busting up both of Ankalaev's legs.
Arguably won that fight too.
Yeah. And like, so like the best strikers in the division, I'm not, Ankalaev's striking looks very good against Pereira, right? Mm-hmm. But like Jan doesn't just go in there and have to wrestle guys. He outstrikes the best strikers in the division. Yes, he took Pereira down, but Rakic, I have a high opinion of. Rakic is damn good. He's had injury concerns. I know.
God, he has a talent too. He just doesn't put it together. Like I think he's good too, and it frustrates me that like he doesn't put it together in the ring. And I'm like, dude, like you have he's a big light heavyweight too, and he just doesn't.
He is.
It's not there. It's like fuck, dude, wrestle more than wrestle. Yeah. Like do something.
But like, yeah, I mean, Jan goes in there and outstrikes really good strikers all the time.
Yep. I agree.
The 3 takedowns against Izzy, I recall they weren't like the greatest takedowns. He like I think maybe all 3 he caught Izzy low kicks, and so for a long time I was like, is this wrestling even good? Like it looks like he just rinsed Izzy on the ground, but it was just smart job by him. But he it wasn't just like excellent wrestling. He was catching low kicks and tipping him over, and then pretty good top control, yes. But again, I go back to he doesn't need to. He doesn't feel compelled to. He's not the one in there getting pieced up and having to wrestle. Magomed is. And Magomed just went in there and pieced up Alex.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm glad. I still feel like there's something missing, but yeah, it's just got to be the tail of the tape. The age, the layoff. I think that stuff gets overblown.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of on that trend though last week with Vettori. I'm like the long layoff, the surgery with his shoulder, 5 rounds. Like I was like, Dolidze, like he's more active. Like that's what I was saying to get me to bet and pick Roman, which I did. But now it's like the opposite now. But I'm like, I'm just not seeing it. Like this is a huge step up. Maybe because also too Roman and Vettori fought before, and it was a very, very close fight, and I thought Roman kind of won, but very close. This one clearly wasn't that close, but yeah.
And let's say Jan's 90% of his best ever. Let's say Jan's not at his best. I still think he's way better.
I still think he wins, yeah.
Yeah, and to be a 2-1 dog,
that's insane.
Like even if Jan's not at his best.
Yeah, that's wild. Olberg decision, round 1, Olberg 2. Okay, so he says Olberg wins the first 2 rounds. Okay. I mean, that could happen if there is a decision, but we'll see. I can see Jan winning round 3 for sure. Olberg probably round 1 is round 2. We'll see who wins that one. I'm with you here, Johnny. I don't see Olberg KO either. I can't remember a time where I've seen Jan really rocked. It was probably the Thiago Moises? Who was it?
Silva?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a while. Like, it's been a long time.
Santos. I knew I wasn't.
Santos. Did I say Moise?
Thiago Silva was
Thiago Santos. Yeah, sorry.
Thiago Silva was the guy that Machida knocked out at the very last second of round 1.
Yeah, I was thinking of the wrong Tiago, but you got my drift there. Mayrov's playing all the angles, rocked. Yep, Jan will be looking like old Jan. We'll see. I mean,
The thing is, he kind of always does. He was never like the fastest guy.
He's just a steady, plodding forward guy with strong kicks, and he's durable, and he's got good counters, and he's just a good technical striker. Like, he's not super quick. He can wrestle. Like, but that's what I think it's going to be the downfall for Olberg. He used to guys being stupid, and he's a good counter puncher. Jan's not going to give you an opportunity to counter because he's going to probably let you go forward first, and he'll stay at range.
Like, if this is a pick him, I get it. You're like the layoff, the age, the height. Yeah. Right.
240? Come on, man. That's crazy. Johnny got that nostalgia glaze. So what was the other fight that you were like, he's better? Let me know. Go back and look for this one.
Jan?
I
mean, like, when does he not look great? Against Glover, and he had neck injuries there.
Yeah, he did have a neck injury.
Super fast. He did not look good against
He did. Glover. I was very mad because I think I had a Jan bet, and I was like, he tapped quick. What the hell? Well, he had a neck injury. That's why he still took the fight. So he's like, yeah, I'm not going to ruin my neck even more because Glover's going to crank on that shit. So Jan has 3 takedowns in the last 4 years, 6 if you count Izzy. He can mix it in, though.
I would repeat it. It's because he's piecing guys up. They're going for takedowns on him. It is concerning that Magomed was on one freaking leg and was able to take him down like butter.
That was mad because I had a Jan bet, and I still think he won that fight, but it is what it is.
As long as you didn't do a prop, you should have got the void, right?
Yeah, I did. That's why I was not too mad, but I was still kind of mad because I thought he won, but it was very close. I still got my money. I didn't lose any money, but it is what it is. We got Elijah Juan in here. What's up, Elijah Juan? Appreciate you coming out. Yo. Jan will look first time not the same as this fight. We'll see.
You could.
Kiwi bet Fernandez round 1 KO, but I think Garam would be the side. Okay. I don't mind the first round KO. Maybe the second or third round KO, though, because Garam does slow down after the first round, but he does get rocked usually in the first round, but he has good recoverability. So that fight, I mean, we talked about it. We could talk like for 3 hours about that fight because anything can happen in that fight, I think. Literally.
Kiwi's got to bet Kiwi.
Yeah, exactly. Kiwi. Olberg decision, official pick. 42 is 42. All right. I got to see it. I'll give him one more chance. Just went through the fights. What about Jung versus Olberg for...
I was saying it was a decision.
Yeah. But, I mean... It wasn't that good of a, honestly, like the only wins that are good that Olberg does is when he gets KOs. Like the ones that go to decision are kind of close. And that one went to decision in the third round. Daoun didn't look that great, obviously, but he just doesn't impress me if they go, like if he doesn't get a KO, and I don't think he's going to get a KO. I think Jan is live.
Bro, look at these. Okay, Alonzo Minifield, because Alonzo
is an idiot.
Ran face first into the cage. Daoun Jung decision, not a round 3 submission. Poiteria, Nick Nigamarianu, Stefan Nchukwi, Fabio Chiron. I like.
Went to decision with him, by the way.
Water Buffalo. Chiron is a chill dude, but he's got no chin. With all due respect, couldn't finish him. Bruno Oliveira. I don't even remember what the fuck that guy looks like. Lost to Kennedy. Carlos is piecing up Kennedy and Jacekwu in round 1. Gassed. Carlos's cardios look far better. Mm-hmm. But the only fighter like really worth a shit that he's beat is Volkan Ozdemir. Close fight.
Mm-hmm. And Jan's at least two times better than Volkan right now at 42.
Like at
if Volkan fought Jan right now, I would bet Jan. Or pick him for sure.
My God, 1,000,000%. You should be like minus 500 against Volkan.
Yeah. And I don't care. It's an easy parlay leg.
Yeah, I mean, it's
wild.
No idea. I'll say money continues to come in Jan. Like I remember weeks ago, Olberger's like minus 275. I think I could look at fight odds real quick, but I'm always looking for those future parlay legs. I'm always trying to like find easy picks, to beat some line movement and build a bank. Like I've got a ton coming in. If when Bilal wins, I'm a little scared because he says he's going to strike with Jack, which would just be ridiculous.
He won't.
You better not. I'll fucking. And then So like money has been slowly, steadily coming in on Jan every single day. Even a couple days ago, Jan was plus 200. It's the right side, guys. Come on.
Okay, it is. It really is. Like I usually like am not this confident on big dogs, but lately, like in the last few cards, like there's one big dog that I'm like, they're winning because they're just better. Like last week was Priscilla. I was like fairly confident. I was like, guys, like she's fought way better competition. Like the women's bantamweight division is god awful. And look at who Nunez is fighting and not even knocking them out.
Right.
Like I know Priscilla's not the greatest, but she's like the flyweight and bantamweight are totally two different worlds. And there's tons more flyweights that are way better if they move to bantamweight like Priscilla did. She actually might do good. She might be a top 10 person in the bantamweight division. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
It's bad.
You know, I'm not here to say Carlos has no chance, and neither are you, right? Like, I'm not, like Carlos is higher volume, but it's against a bunch of fucking low level guys. Come on.
I'm right with you. But let's go to the main event. We got Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. Who do you like?
How can you trust either one of these guys? We got Leon, who's like whining in the corner. He tells him, don't give up on yourself. He says, I'm not. Like a child, like literally like a big old child. I'm not. He's got, Bilal's got his back, and Leon's just sitting there like all complacent with a sad look on his face. Like such a head case. I could go on and on. But still, despite that, he won 2 rounds versus Bilal. And he got the headshot dead in round 5. Kamaru was a minus 5,000 live odds favorite and gets starched with a gorgeous kick, right?
Yeah.
Leon cheats his ass off, always grabbing the cage. I poke the shit out of Bilal. If you look at Leon, like I'm just so conflicted on where Leon really is. Leon was on a crazy win streak against like incredibly low level guys. He had a split decision win over Gunnar Nelson, beat Cerrone, Peter Sabota, Brian Barberina, beat Luque and Rafael dos Anjos. Those are decent. Beat Albert Tumanov, Dominic Waters, Pavel Pavlek, Seth Baczynski. You might remember him. Claudio Silva, Shante. Like Leon was on this crazy run, but against a bunch of nobodies. Fought Colby past his prime, fought Usman past his prime. When he fought Usman can't like walk upstairs. Usman doesn't walk on the sidewalk. He walks in the grass because his knees are so bad. Usman's like limping around after every fight. But then Usman comes out and looks good against Khamzat, right? There's just like so many conflicting things that give me trouble understanding where Leon really is. It's easy to say Usman was trash, but he's not. He proved he's not. He looked great his last couple of fights, albeit in losses. Brady, on the other hand, kind of the same deal. The guy, I was going to win so much money. Like all of my ridiculous parlays were going to hit if Bilal versus Brady made it to round 3. And Brady just stands there getting fucking blasted, doesn't even shoot for a takedown, and gets starched by Bilal.
Yeah, that's terrible. It's tough.
But Brady's striking did look pretty darn good last time out against Gilbert and had very high volume. And then it's like, all right, well, Leon's shown some really good anti-grappling. He's had good moments against Usman. He even took Usman down, right? Like, he's got good takedown defense. He won 2 rounds against Bilal, like I said. And I'm thinking, like, there's no way Brady's anywhere close to Bilal in the wrestling. If you can win 2 rounds against Bilal, you can win 3 rounds against Brady. That's what I'm thinking. But, Brady it just continues to improve so much. And while he might not have the wrestling of Bilal, Brady's got better jiu-jitsu than Bilal.
100%.
To me, it's an absolute kind of pick 'em type of thing, dog or pass type of thing. I was thinking about betting Leon at plus 150. Tiny bit of money's come in on him. And I thought Leon was the easy pick until I rewatched the Gilbert fight and saw that Brady is improving on the feet a little bit. I'm not here to say he's as good as Leon, but he's not as trash as he was a few fights ago. I think my official pick is Leon underdog, hometown crowd. It's a really make or break type of situation for Leon. He can't lose again.
Yeah.
But Brady, he's just continuing to look good. This isn't the easy Leon pick that I thought it was a couple days ago for me.
Yeah. Yeah, same with me. But I am actually gonna pick the Brady side. Everything you said is true though. Like I really can't argue one way or another that because I do agree, but I'm just gonna pick Brady just because I do think he can implement the same style of fight that Bilal gave Leon. And if he does get this fight to the mat, which I do think he will eventually, like there is more of a chance for Brady to get a submission than Bilal. 100%. 100%. Way more of a chance. So I like that look too. But on the feet, though, Leon, I think, has a little bit better of a shot to get a KO than he did against Bilal. So you're kind of like fighting fire with fire here too. So I like that Brady kind of is similar to Bilal. Maybe not the wrestling, but the grappling is way better, I think. On the feet, I don't think it's as good as Bilal either. But if I'm lagging, I'm sorry. There's been some storms going.
No, you're good.
Okay. So but I'm gonna pick Brady. I'm gonna say decision. I think it's gonna be a close fight either way. I like the overs if you want to be safe for a parlay piece. I don't think anyone knocks out anybody or subs, but there is a chance, obviously. I think it's more of a chance that there is a finish in this fight than the Bilal Edwards fight for sure. But man, I'm gonna stay away though. It's just a pick. Like I'm not confident. I'm just going with my gut. And I just think Brady can implement the same game plan as Bilal did and just frustrate Leon, make him cry on the stool like he did, like and getting taken down over and over again. And if Brady gets the back, like it's over, like that round's sealed 100%. And I think like he can do that like at least one round. So we'll see.
That's the thing too. My mind goes to like, what about a split prop or just fight ends and split?
Mm-hmm.
I cashed, like I said, plus 2,000 Leon. But it was because of the point deduction. It was actually a majority decision, not even split.
Yeah.
Interestingly, like Leon rounds are always so one-sided. He either gets rinsed or pieces you up. Like the rounds are very easy to pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't expect a split decision here. Yeah, such a tough one. Fun main event.
Yep. And like you said, it's probably dog or pass if you want to bet. I mean, it's that close, I think. So the value's on Leon. Or maybe if you want, what's Leon? Oh, Leon plus 5.5 is minus 165. So, I mean, if you want to throw that in a parlay, maybe just to be a little bit safer, maybe get the plus 9.5, maybe for a parlay if you can do the alternate. But we'll see. It's going to be a close one. I'm interested to see what happens, though.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity for Brady, of course. If he wins this, he might be a future champ. I don't think he'd beat Bilal if they rematched, but Brady's still pretty young. This would be a huge win for him.
Yep. Epi's a great point. Brady's finishing upside on the mat is way higher than Bilal, and Usman for sure. Yeah, both those guys, they're mainly decisionators. But Brady on the mat, though, he's a demon. Narco posted on Twitter, Leon might have staff as well. Yeah, I did see that on Twitter. That could play a big part as well, especially later in the rounds.
Interesting.
So, right on his arm, like right here. You can see it. I saw it like right before I got on, actually. So I forgot to mention that. But thanks, Elijah Wan, for that. Staff is never fun, especially if you have bets on the other side or the side that has staff. Fight doesn't go the distance plus 140. I could see that. Maybe even just do the play. If DraftKings does like Leon KO or Brady sub, that might be something you can look at. Great point. We got Bunny Hunter with a $10 dono. Appreciate you as always, Bunny. Thanks for coming out. What's up, guys? Headshot dead. Let's fucking go, Leon. Brady needs to wash his ass. Okay.
Is there a story behind that I'm not privy to?
That's why I was laughing. I want to know. Brady has KO'd who? No, probably nobody. Dude is sub decision or bust. Yeah.
I wonder if one of us misspoke or you misheard. I don't think either one of us.
No, Brady would never KO anybody.
No.
If I said KO, I meant Leon. If I said that wrong. Yeah, he would sub or decision for sure only. Got a nice parlay for next weekend. Throw it out there.
Is this the
Anytime,
guy that
brother.
hit plus 3,000? Who hit the plus 3,000? I want that guy's parlay.
Mayrav. I think he said it. He won some good money. Leon Staff. Yeah. Going I'm sure it's everywhere on Instagram and Twitter. So you could probably find it somewhere on there. But yeah, we are at the time of the show that we're gonna give our easy money parlay and our beer money fun parlay that's crazy odds. So let's go with the easy money first. Not a lot of great parlay opportunities, to be honest. What do you feel confident in though? Let's go with that.
God, I hate that. Like none of the big favorites I'm super confident in.
I know.
I'm thinking like a spread bet on the main event.
I'm just worried about that staff now.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Otherwise, I'd be down. Let me see.
Wow, now money's coming back in on Olberg. Jans plus 240.
Yep.
Yeah, I got to play that.
I know. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna wait and see. I might get plus 280. Who knows? It'd be crazy. We can do something like the over 2.5 in the Shauna Bannon fight, and then pick something like that we're close to like plus money on.
I'm a little worried about Pooja getting subbed, but I know everyone will say Kavanaugh, but I think that one's close.
Yeah, that one could be close, even though I do like Kavanaugh to win a pretty, I don't want to say a lock. I don't like to use that word, but pretty confident he wins. That's me.
These spread bets this year have been feeding me, I swear. Like
I've been doing a lot more spreads too.
Yeah, that's where my head's going.
I
don't think Thainara's getting KO'd. Kind of like Thainara plus 3.5 alternate spread.
I'm just worried about round 3.
Yeah, I feel you.
I like Thainara by sub. For just in general, for the fun one. Let me see what that one is, just to be safe. Man, it's weird because usually the safe ones I have so many plays I like, but this card is it's plus 400 for Thainara by sub. I think that's a great one we can use if we both like that.
I do.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we can do Jan money line. Those are the 2 plays. Perfect.
I like the beer money one. All right.
Beer money's all set. Let's do that one first.
So then I'm thinking like an alternate spread in the main event. Like the staff, I mean, yeah, that's
I'm just worried about that now. But he's pretty tough though. But man, like what we were talking about, like Brady's jiu-jitsu is like no joke.
Yeah.
So
I wish the Wood Sherrier overs were less chalky.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we're going to see a KO there.
So yeah, Alexia by sub and Jan money line is plus 1,600.
That's it.
That's wild. That's hitting.
I hate to play CLD, but like, oh no, yeah, that's.
I feel that's the same price as the Bannon over 2.5. I would rather do that. If you want to do that, if you want to do something that high.
Sounds good. And then we need something better than the Thainara plus 3.5 for the second leg then, because
what would we need?
Lines.
We would need something like around like 130, 140, 130 or 140 range. 150? Let's see what 150 is. Yeah, 145 I think will be okay. Minus 145 or better. If we use the Shauna Bannon over 2.5.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to like a 3-legger. Typically, I know you do 2 legs.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking Thainara plus 3.5.
What's that at? But if we have Thainara by sub, I kind of like to do different.
You don't want to get too heavy on her. I definitely get that.
Just in case.
So maybe like a Leon versus Brady to start round 3 type thing. The problem is FanDuel's are always way better on those lines. Yeah, we would need to do like start round 4 or something.
I mean, we could look at that. Maybe I'm just looking at DraftKings, but
Too.
let's see. We can do.
What's the chat thing? Give us a leg, chat.
Yeah, what do you guys think about the like a easy money, which is weird? What you see on the screen is going to be our beer money parlay. That's the crazy one. What do you guys like for like a solid leg? That's
it's
easy?
an interesting one. It could void, but Padilla submission only is minus 280. Okay. I really like those KO only, submission only, decision only.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't really remember the last one of those I lost. They often void, but.
What do you think about the under 2.5 in the Jordan Chris Duncan fight? It's minus 145.
Yeah, I just never parlay unders.
We can do. Oh my gosh, really? It's minus 101. But it's okay. I'm willing to do that one if you wanted to do it. But I'm just trying to think of something like minus 140 range.
I mean, if we did Leroy over 2.5 in Shauna and under 2.5 in Vucenic, it's plus 135.
The Leroy over 1.5?
Just Duncan money line.
Oh, so Duncan money line.
CLD, yeah.
And what was the other two?
Over 2.5 in the Shauna.
Okay.
The under 2.5 in the Vucenic, which I hate.
We don't have to do that one. I was just throwing it out there.
No, I tend to agree with it. It's just like out of principle. Like I will throw up if I lose a parlay on an under. Yeah, you know what I actually really like is like the Jan Olberg overs.
We already have a Jan.
Yeah, but this is not money line.
True.
We would need it to start round 3.
Man, this is weird. This is the first time that I'm like struggling to find an easy money one.
Yeah. It's scary betting overs on light heavyweights for sure.
Oh yeah, but this one could be slower because they're going to respect each other's power and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
well, Jan will probably respect Carlos's power, and Carlos is going to be like, I'm gonna respect him in general because he's a good fighter.
Well, and I do think
and he's a counterpuncher too. So
yeah, like I think Olberg's going to want to use the range. He's not going to want to get in a phone booth with Jan. Jan's got just ridiculous durability.
So over 1.5 is minus 310.
Yeah, I forgot to look at those. And then they don't have like the alternates on Tybura Parkin, but I really.
What do you think about Cherrier?
Like an over or the money line?
Just the money line.
You know what would be good there is a spread, and they are available.
Minus 175 on Wood.
Or I'm thinking like Morgan plus 3.5 at minus 340. Like I'm pretty sure Morgan wins one round.
Yeah, he can win one round for sure. Let me get the spread bets.
So like 3.5, you need them to win one round on all 3 judges' scorecards. Oh, you got the reactions turn. 5.5, you need them to win one round on 2 cards. The plus 7.5, you need them to win one round on 1 judge's card. You can be 30-27, 30-27, 29-28, and the plus 7.5 cashes. A lot of people like have trouble kind of like understanding the spreads.
Yeah. This is what we can do. I got it. Shauna Bannon over 2.5, plus 3.5 on Morgan, over 1.5 in the Jan fight. That's plus 101. What do you think about that? I know it's chalky, but we got to find some kind of chalk on this card because there's really not any chalky money lines or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hitting.
You want to do it?
Let's do that.
I usually don't do a 3-legger on the easy money, but I think I like these 3.
Yeah.
Enough to do it.
All right. So it's the over 2.5, over 1.5, and what's the
Morgan 3.5.
Morgan 3.5 plus 3.5 rounds.
Yep.
I mean, I really think Leroy Duncan's winning, but it's minus 550. So
yeah.
Word. All right, that's in.
Let's see.
So, like, yeah, Morgan's got to win 1 round.
Yep, I think he can. Easy. And I don't think Nathaniel's going to finish him. So they don't have to worry about that either. There we are.
Ooh, I actually like Dirty Reg's leg there. The Olberg not to get a KO.
I
like that a lot.
That's a good leg.
The thing is, too, sometimes I feel bad. Like, I guess Bet Online has all these props and spreads.
Yeah, the spreads. We've been doing a lot of spreads for the easy money. I know some people don't have DraftKings or Bet Online. I think those are the only 2 books that do it. But like sometimes
you can live anywhere and be on Bet Online.
True.
And if you're only on FanDuel and not DraftKings,
if you want
to be on as many sports books as you can, so you can line shop and take advantage of promos.
Oh, Bovada does too.
Nice.
Good to know. I didn't know that. But if you want to and you don't have any access to any of the spreads, just do Sherry money line and don't worry about Bannon over 2.5. That'll give you plus money. I think Sherry money line is good too.
I'm a little scared on that. I would, if it comes to that, I think I would be more inclined to do like Guram and CLD money lines and just go of like eat all the chalk you can,
all the chalk you can,
all the chalk you can possibly get. Yeah, to me, this is a tough card. It's going to be a wild ass crowd. They're going to be fighting. No, they're fighting regular time for London. Okay.
Yeah.
But you're down to see some ridiculous judging, some poor fight IQ going, in front of a crazy crowd. So lots of volatility here. But that's the game we play. That's why we love it.
It should be fun. That's why there's a lot of closely lined fights for a reason. I think they're all going to be fun and all going to be close. And I don't think this is a card to parlay. I mean, obviously you can, but I don't feel comfortable. And I love parlays. I only have 1 parlay. It's a 2-legger. That's it.
Well, you got 3 now, baby.
I got 3. I'm going to play this, obviously. I always do. But I really like our beer money parlay. I think that hits.
So, yeah, I think so. So, John plus over 2.5.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Or 1.5.
Or I wonder what over 2.5. Are you talking about like a same game parlay, Ripside?
It'd be minus 160. And I think we can, if we do 2.5 for that, and then we can probably take off the Bannon over. But I think that over is free.
Yeah, the Pooja ground game is the only thing. It's been a while since she's got subbed. But Bannon, supposedly a black belt, had a really slick armbar threat against Dardeline. If it stays on the feet, these chicks could fight for 100 years.
Yeah.
If it hits the ground, I think there's some risk.
But Bannon doesn't really have the greatest wrestling. I mean, she has good trips, but that's about it. Good enough trips.
Yeah, no, definitely not very good wrestling. You're right. And Pooja's got that low center of gravity. Might be tough to get down. So
I think we'll be okay.
We're going to be okay for sure.
Yep. All righty. That is it, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us for a little over 2 hours. But before we go, please let us know where they can find you and all the stuff you got going on.
Word, yeah. For UFC Bet Picks on Twitter and Instagram. I never post on Twitter just because I simply forget, but put out a lot of good Instagram content and make the graphic design of the fight card. It's the most crisp, clear, early, updated, best looking fight card you can find to put your picks on. Appreciate it. So yeah, I think Instagram's the best place to find me. I try to do YouTube, but this is so much work. Johnny, kudos to you. You get your picks out early, like Sunday morning.
My best.
I hope people know how much work it is, and kudos to you. And I love watching a show every Sunday. So much hard work to get those picks out early like you do. So I try to do YouTube every now and then, but it's tough. But Instagram's the place to be. I'm actually negative this year.
Me too, just barely. I'm slowly climbing out of that hole I dug myself in January and February.
But the last 3 years on Patreon, I'm up like 280 units.
There you go.
Last year only ended up like 29.7, but it's because the whole second half of the year I was getting insanely risky every week playing $1 million parlays. In like the summer, like after the UFC Saudi Arabia card, I was up like 140 units, profited 165 point units in 2023, 101 in 2022. So typically I am very confident to tell you that my bets are the best, but sucking dick this year. So not to turn it around and start getting back in the black, but it's all house money, thank God, at least. But yeah, we put out a lot of content on the Patreon, detailed written article with fight tape, lots of great stuff. It's not just the bets. And the bets are going to get back on track soon, hopefully.
There you go. Yeah, so all of his information is down below in the description. You can find him there on Instagram, and then definitely go check out his Patreon as well. But good luck to everybody in their bets. Hopefully we gave you some insight. Hopefully we'll hit this easy money and beer money parlay this week. I'm feeling pretty confident that we will. I know last week we got a little off kilter a bit, but we'll get back on track this time. We've been doing pretty good with those. So take care.
Your picks have been on fire too. Like I track all the expert.
No, we were so close.
Oh yeah. Well, we both had some picks last week, but all year you've been killing it. Yeah, like with the top expert of the week gets a ruby. Like when a champion defends their belt. Johnny had I think 3 or 4 rubies last year, like being the top across 24 experts. There's some guys, popular YouTube UFC cappers that have been on the sheet for 3 years and have 0 or 1 rubies in 39 months. 3 years and 3 months. Johnny be getting them rubies, baby. So you guys are.
I gotta get some. This year. I don't think I got any, probably, but
it's early. Like there's only a handful.
I know.
Yeah, I know. Like last year, you had like 3 or 4. It's like
early on, I think.
You crushed it.
All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next time, next Wednesday when we're here, same time as always. Good luck to your bets and picks, and have fun and drink some beers, and let's win some money. Good luck.